Hey everybody, it's Mark Yagi. Welcome to another Market Pulse. Today is the 8th of November. And holy spumoni, what a week this was in the trading. I mean, obviously it was a big week for the world and the United States as well. But man, from a trading perspective, I sure hope you took advantage of this week. It was a tough week to take advantage of coming off a red week, going into a yellow market. But man, if you were positioned at all in anything decent, you made a bunch of money this week. So let's talk a little bit about what we got going on. Just got off my mastermind call with the gang, and everybody was all thrilled and smiles. One guy reported that he made $250,000. It's been a good year for everybody in the cash flow machine. So I'm really proud of what we're doing here, and what's happening to these people's lives. And it's a lot of fun when people are making money. And not every market is one of those markets where it's conducive to making money. But when you're getting income to offset in those bad weeks, it makes it a lot easier to do. One guy's up 35%. My goal for him is 40% this year. And he did almost 50 last year. Anyway, we are in a green market. You can see the four round lights there, four green lights. We are bullish. And I'm going to show you a very interesting chart in a second to kind of show you what happened last time Donald Trump won in 2016. Just hang on for that. The NASDAQ has got a gap up and then another gap up on good energy. Look at the volume at the bottom. This is the important thing, is catching that volume. Hang on, am I recording? Yes, I'm recording. All right, so we'll keep going here. All right, so sorry about that. So here we are. So now we've got beautiful new highs on high volume, energetically blowing up through gap ups, gap aways. This is good stuff, really good stuff. We don't get these markets all the time, and we are in a bull market. And if you've been on the sidelines thinking we're going into a bear market, I feel sorry for you, because you've been wrong while you've been getting your 4% in CDs over the last year. And the market has been right. And, the people in my program are up 35, 40, 50%, some even more. So, there are other ways to make money than by being conservative and holding up and just giving your money to somebody and putting it in a CD or a bond or whatever. You're getting hammered if you're in bonds. The NASDAQ is at an all-time high. The S&P 500, all-time high. Gap ups on energy. Look at the volume on the bottom there. It's just amazing stuff that's going on. I don't know if it'll continue. I think it probably will, but we'll see. Dow Jones Industrial Average. Look at that big candle on the day after election day. Gap up on huge volume, and then a kind of a sit still day the next day, and then Friday today is just unbelievable. So 44,000. And I was just thinking, I think the market was in 2008, we hit 6,600, I think, on the Dow. And look at us now, 44,000. So that's not so much that the economy is doing great and all that kind of stuff. It's more that the dollar is being debased, but it's a bit of both. So if you believe in what this country is doing, what this country is all about, over time, markets go up. And so that's the trend you can't fight. New York Stock Exchange Composite, not quite as good as the other ones, but pretty darn good. So that's exciting. The CBOE volatility index gapped down after the election day, and now it's down back in the 14s, below the 200-day moving average. This is where we want it to be. This shows us there's not a lot of panic in the market. And when I say we're green, that corroborates what we're talking about. Look at this chart. This is fun. I went back to 2016 and I thought, what happened the day after that election when nobody thought he would win, Trump would win, and he did? Look at what happened. That's about 18,000. And look at what happened. It looks exactly the same as what's going on now, like 5 or 6 days in a row, and then a bunch of littler days in a row. Look at all of the up days in a row after that. And it kept going up and up and up. And after a year, it went from 18,000 to 23, 24,000, somewhere in there in just a year. Pretty amazing, right? So, history doesn't always repeat, but it does rhyme in a lot of cases. Are we going to get the same thing? I know it's hard to believe that the Dow can go from 44,000 to maybe 60,000. I don't know, but it sure seems like it can. And if this chart is anything similar to what's going on, we've got a similar opportunity now. Looking at Apple, I'm showing you weekly charts, by the way. We're looking at a kind of a long consolidation. Apple doesn't seem to be going anywhere, but that means it's not going down that much. Just their other stocks are doing better, as you can see from the relative strength rating. It's at a 67, which kind of shows us that there's not a lot of love for Apple right now. I mean, they released a phone that had some artificial intelligence that's not really out yet and had some good camera stuff on it, but it wasn't that exciting. Apple's stuff, they're innovating less, right? They're less of the Steve Jobs kind of company, and they're a little bit more of the Tim Cook financial engineering kind of company, just making sure that the earnings are good and the company keeps growing. Look, nothing wrong with Apple. I'm just saying it's not that exciting anymore, and you can see that in the stock chart. Nonetheless, a double in the stock chart from December of 22 when it hit its low to now is still pretty darn good. It just compared to some of the other stuff we're looking at, it's not that exciting. All right, let's keep going. Tesla, obviously, Elon Musk being a part of the new administration is going to be good for Tesla. This administration currently has been against them in a lot of ways. They're regulating them. They're doing investigations of the guy because they don't like politically how he's lined up. At least that's my opinion. And I think it's really suppressed the stock. The stock was about the same price that it was 3 years ago, and it's 3 times the company. It should be the same price, but that's just my opinion. If you watch some of my other Tesla videos, you know what I'm talking about. You know how much I believe in it. So it's been a good week for anybody in Tesla, and we're breaking away on Tesla. It's up about 21% from where it broke out, and I've been talking about it for a while. Like, it's getting ready to break out, guys. It's getting ready to break out. And 271 was my official breakout. I think the official breakout was 265. But anyway, if you bought it anywhere in there, you're doing really well. And I've been talking about that for many months now. NVIDIA is breaking out also. It's doing unbelievably well. This is a chugger. I'm a little afraid about this volume at the bottom, which tells me that even though it's going up, there's not a lot of buying, which means what happens when it starts to sell? Those buyers aren't going to be there to suck up the volume. And so it could drop pretty quickly. These stocks tend to drop quickly after they've run for a while. But I like NVIDIA. A lot of people like it. It's probably the #1 stock in the index this year. And MicroStrategy is the #1 stock in the index, frankly. But NVIDIA did incredibly well as well. Amazon. Look at Amazon breaking away today on good energy. There's nothing, like I've been saying for the last few weeks, there's nothing wrong with Amazon. It just was trying to get to that $200 breakout point. And sure enough, as soon as it did, now it's breaking out because of the election and because of the excitement in the market. So that's pretty good. JP Morgan Chase, same thing, having a nice volume week with a breakout going on. So that's exciting for JP Morgan. Let's see, On Semiconductor, most of you probably don't trade that one. Mara Holdings is a Bitcoin play. They mine Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin hit an all-time high at 125 in the morning after the election, and it's hit an all-time high a couple of times since then. This stock isn't hitting at an all-time high, so that tells you something. It's a little bit weak compared to this one, which I always talk about, and that's MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is, was $20 and now it's $260, and that's been since a year and a half. So unbelievable, incredible rise because of this Bitcoin play. It's a financial engineering play on Bitcoin, and the market is rewarding it. Look at that, like 9 out of 10 weeks in a row, the stock has gone up. Google is kind of not exciting anymore. They got a lot of work to do to go to the other side of that cup and break out. We'll see what happens with Google. Microsoft, the same thing, right at its 200-day moving average. Not exciting at Microsoft. Meta is in the middle of a breakout. Not exciting there either, but it's a chugging up breakout. So if you can get that thing to just chug up over time, that's great. I think I'll leave it there. That's a lot of stocks that a lot of you people ask me about, and that's great. If you got something you want me to look at, happy to look at it for you. If enough people ask about it, then I'll certainly put it in our Market Pulse updates. Listen, the market turned green today. What that means is that you probably should be in something, because generally when the market turns green, about 80% of the time, the markets tend to trend up, and the trend is your friend, and you shouldn't fight the trend in the market. And I don't care if you think, oh my God, it's at an all-time high, it's going to crash. That's not the way it works, folks. Things go high and then they go higher, and they can't get to a new high unless they hit an old high. And you can see, just look at almost any chart that I pull up. Look at the one, the last one that I pulled up, Meta. I mean, that stock was at 100 and it's now 600. Even though it has pullbacks, they go to all-time highs and they just keep breaking out and breaking out. And that's what this market's doing. We're at $44,000, 44,000 on the Dow, NASDAQ, S&P 500 in New York. They're all the same. And the markets will always continue to be the same. And if you believe in this economy now, if you believe that the administration is going to remove regulations, is going to remove a lot of the red tape and the inefficiencies and bureaucracy in the government, we might become more efficient as a country. I mean, somebody like Elon Musk, who's the picture of efficiency, he fired 80% of the people at Twitter, and the company is more profitable probably now. We don't know, but is certainly got more participation than it ever had. And they lost 80% of the people because Elon fired them. That means that they weren't doing anything, or certainly weren't doing anything worthwhile. So he knows how to cut. And if he's involved in our government, that's going to be good for the country, in my opinion. That's going to be good for the stock market, and it's going to be good for your portfolio. Thanks for being here on the Market Pulse. Like and subscribe on this channel if you're watching it on YouTube or any other place that I put these videos. And if you're not a member of my Insider Tips, please join. You'll get all my videos and all my reports from the week all in one shot. You might even get some sneak peeks at some new stuff. And listen, I appreciate you being here. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time on Market Pulse. Take care.